So this is the DVD extra to Knights of Anofa. I'm Dillon Magnusson. I played Sir Clyde. I was the best actor. We can all understand and appreciate that fact that I was the greatest actor. So when I was first approached about the film, I mean, I thought it was a great idea. I loved Ryan Scott's previous work. I thought it was fantastic. So I took a look at the script and I saw, Steve is the perfect character for me. And I gave Ryan this whole big spiel about how I would be the greatest Steve that there was. At which point, Ryan, God bless his soul, he said, "No, you're Sir Clyde." And I was like, well, that's not going to fly. But then Kevin Pulley, he backed me down. He really stepped it up as a real stand-up guy. And he convinced me that Clyde was the better role, which it was. I mean, because I was in more scenes anyway. And you need this shining star in more scenes, obviously. Now, Arsenval and John, they were great guys. Love working with them. Would gladly work with them again. But even they recognized talent when they saw it. I mean, who else could learn all of their lines almost instantaneously? I mean, it wasn't even a question of who was the greatest. It was me, by far. Everybody was a pleasure, except for Ryan Scott. Ryan Scott and Carly Han. They were not so, you know. But everybody was a real good team. The crew knew what they were doing. They were on top of it. I mean, what more could you ask for? Even NGXB, he's a little. But by day 3, at lunchtime, we were ready to kill Ryan Scott. He had us out in the freezing cold for 3 straight days. I mean, it was too much. It was too much. But the film overall, I think, was a success. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I have yet to. We're about to watch it, but I think it was really good. It's hard to be so high above everyone else in the production. But I really stooped down. I really showed everybody how to be the greatest they could be by just being who I was. I was naturally just always meant to be a star, but you never know. Maybe in the next film I'll be Ryan Scott's leading man, but who knows if I'm even in it? Who knows? Who knows? Not me. This is my first time watching this. Let's go.
Beware the treasure of the Knights of Anofa.
The treasure of what?
The Knights of Anofa.
What's that?
I don't know, but I think I know someone who might.
Oh no.
Have you heard of the...
Oh my god.
Treasure of the Knights of...
I figured if anyone knew anything about it, it'd be you.
Enter Steve, the part I should have been.
Classic story. Cynthia worked for brick factory, burned down about 100 years ago.
We actually ended up filming this scene in this exact basement.
Was locked in this office. He died. Thanks to his fortune. Legend has it, his workers sworn never to disturb the fortune, to protect it with their lives.
So you're saying that the treasure is somewhere in the factory ruins?
Treasure?
You just told us.
I'm not crazy about your attitude, man. But the treasure is awesome. When you find it, let me know.
Thanks, Steve.
No problem, sister. Hey, if you come back, you should totally bring me some cheese balls.
Little known fact, the crew ate the cheese balls almost constantly. Oh look, the duck is playing.
Okay, so maybe Steve wasn't that helpful, but I think I know someone who can help.
One of the hardest scenes to film was actually the Jeep scene because we didn't want to hit the camera crew.
Can I get my money now? I'm gonna forget to ask later.
Right, well, we don't have the money yet.
I don't follow.
The money is some kind of treasure, and we need help finding it.
This is one of my favorite scenes because Kevin is truly a master of his craft.
Rick O'Connell, you know? Death of the Mummy, third greatest movie of all time.
Well, just start looking.
Hey, found something. Whopping pile of filth and dirt. Now I'm all dirty.
Well, you're obviously not looking in the right places.
I don't see you getting dirty. Okay, but what if undisturbed meant not taking any of it, and moving it is okay?
There was a penis.
Move. You think this is it? There's only one way to find out. You know, patience is a virtue.
A virtue doesn't buy you a car.
Pure beauty.
This is the greatest scene because I'm in it. This tackle, I don't know why, it took like 4 or 5 takes. Imagine laying in the snow for a solid like 30 minutes.
Really necessary? Let's kill him. Kidding, I was kidding.
It's funny. We didn't really know if she was gonna do it or not.
Oh my god. Shut the fuck up!
So what are we gonna do?
I have an idea.
The collection of things in Steve's basement actually came from everyone in the crew. Oh, and now Link is playing in the background.
Be cool. You brought some people. Hold on. Let me find my bong. I had it around here somewhere.
We found the treasure.
Right on.
No, Steve. Not right on.
No?
No. All thanks to this asshat.
Who is he?
He knows about the treasure. We need you to keep an eye on him while we go back and get it.
No worry, my dudes.
Sir Clyde was a
You
very
friend,
talkative
it's
fellow.
safe with me.
No worries. You heard him. Steve the Oracle has everything under control. Let's go.
You geared to partake?
This scene was also very good because I was afraid Carly was going to hit me every single time. And then I sprinted down my street every take. You can't tell, but in this scene, I'm giving Nick the finger. Ryan Scott's car makes an appearance.
The hell, guys?
What?
Where did the bum dude go?
Kevin has the greatest laugh.
Not come to disturb. Oh, hey, it's you guys.
Guys, come on. We have to get to the treasure before he does.
Bummer.
If he did come back, he'd still have to be close by. I mean, we weren't gone that long.
Go quick.
Hey, guys. Our beautiful new friend has more friends.
Follow us.
Field trip. Right on.
Honestly, all of the Knights were an absolute pleasure. They're a purely good group of guys. So you never get the backstory behind the Converse, but the Converse tie into Sir Clyde's youth and his rebellious phase from the Knights.
How dare you disturb the treasure of the Knights of the Note?
Alright. I'm guessing you guys are.
We are the Knights of the treasure of the Knights of the Note.
It's such a long name.
That's a long name, man. Could you talk a little slower?
What do you mean?
The Knights of... The Knights... The Knights of...
The Knights of the treasure of the Knights of the Nova?
Yeah.
John was just an absolute pleasure.
Super long, man.
Really nice guy, too.
Efficiency is key.
It is pretty long. We've already decided. It's too late to change it.
Wait, what if we just called ourselves the Knights of Anofa?
It's too late.
Where's Aaron and Will?
Crofty, do you have visual? Over.
This is Indy. I have visual. Over.
Wait until I get the go. Over.
Roger that. Over.
This treasure has remained undisturbed for 100 years.
Look, man, we know you're probably having fun playing dress up and all.
Silence!
We didn't know the treasure was that sacred.
Besides, have you even looked in it yet?
Yes. I mean, sort of.
I forgot Talisha was in this film.
Would it hurt to take a peek? It's pretty awesome.
So did I.
Would change your
So
mind.
in between shots,
One little
um,
wouldn't hurt.
me and some of the Knights would build little snowmen that are, if you look in between their legs, almost visible.
It's beautiful.
Go, go, go!
Maybe. Just maybe. The treasure no longer needs to be hidden. And maybe you and I can come to an agreement.
Sharing is scary, my dude.
Sir Clyde's only lines in the movie were screaming.
Dude! Come on!
So, we do it?
assaulting a bunch of peaceful bums that were going to share the treasure with us?
Doesn't sound good.
Kevin has the best line delivery out of anyone in the film. I stand by that.
So, let's talk treasure.
Truly a good film. One of his best. My goodness. Oh, Kevin, what a guy. Oh. Masterpiece. Ryan Scott, masterpiece.
What was your favorite scene to film?
Oh, that's a hard one, actually. My favorite scene to film would have had to have been it was a scene that was cut, actually. It was a scene, the smoking montage scene. My favorite scene that made it in the movie would have had to have been the last scene where I was writhing on the ground, screaming in pain, after the whole "We are the knights of the treasure of the knights of the knights of the treasure of the treasure of the knights" of Vinofa.
Okay. Did you have any particular places you drew anything from for your character, Sir Clyde?
Honestly, there were bits and pieces that I pulled from Indiana Jones. In the most recent Indiana Jones film, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I like the way Harrison Ford played that role. I liked the ways that he came off as older, and a lot of those things I took without words, obviously, but a lot of those mannerisms that he had, the small little things, are definitely what I took away from that part of the film.
Okay, this one will kind of play into that a little bit. How did you feel about playing a character 40 years older than you actually are?
Honest to God, it was one of the hardest things. Especially because I didn't get to speak at all. That was one of the hardest parts, because age plays very well when you're able to use a voice. Obviously not like a comical voice, but any kind of voice adds a certain level of easiness to the character. That this, when you play a mute character, it's very hard. The playing such an older version of myself was very hard. Is a lot of small little ticks of ooh, I'm feeling old because of this, so now let me play that on screen. Like my knees were weak from getting tackled, so let me play that on screen as an old man. the small things like that that you'd see. Nothing very major. It was very hard because you couldn't be over the top, but if you did it too subtly, it wouldn't be noticed.
And then just one more question. What are you looking forward to in your next appearance in a Scottastic Productions film?
Besides the Amongst the Undead, honestly, I'm really looking forward to work with the Scottastic crew again. Everybody who came in on the project was fantastic. I've been a member of the Scottastic crew, for years now. Longer than I care to recall. And as that time has gone, I've seen new people come in. As in the Maryland crew. The Maryland crew is absolutely fantastic. I love working with them. Everybody who came up was really just an absolute delight. They were such good people. And they were funny, and honestly, I can't wait to work with all of them again. They were all they were a real stand-up crew. As well as the New Jersey crew. I mean, they're some of my best friends. I couldn't imagine a Scottastic production without them. In addition to working with Ryan Scott, obviously the biggest part of Scottastic Productions, he always pumps out quality work in addition to challenging work. He never makes it easy for me. As you can tell by the fact that I played a mute character who is 40 years my age. But I can't wait to see what his next project has in store for me. I hope it's not quite as difficult as this one.